about to cross over. We're about to cross over. We're about to cross over. Forward, march, say. We're about to cross over. We're about to cross over. Sing forward, march. We're about to cross over. We're about to cross over. We're about to cross over. Sing forward, march, say. We're about to cross over.
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good. Yay.
Thank you all for coming out on this rainy, we don't know if it's going to snow type of day. You know, they say one thing, they say we were going to get snow again. The next minute they say we're not getting snow again. I don't know if Mother Nature knows what it's doing, but Mother Nature is nature, right? So, my name is Reverend Dr. Kenneth Clark. I'm the founder of Breath of Life Comes You Are Ministry, Inc. And I thank you all for taking the time out of your schedule to engage in this activity. Well, I don't want to say activity, but engage in this network building, community, bridging the gap affair. So, before I read off this roster, I'm going to say a quick prayer, and I'm going to just call each of the individuals off the roster to speak. Don't be shy to speak, right? Because God knew what he was doing when he woke you up this morning, right? Mm-hmm. And so because he knew what he was doing when he woke you up this morning, guess what? That means you have a voice. That means you have a heartbeat. That means you got a pulse, right? Yeah. So if you got a pulse, you got to take that smile and let them share that smile. Yeah. And don't be afraid to spread your voice, right? Because you matter. How about that? All right. So, Father God, I thank you for bringing us here today, God. I thank you for just spreading your joy upon us, God. And I ask right now, God, that those that have taken their time out of their schedule, God, that you bless them, God, that you bless them exceedingly abundantly above that they can think and imagine. That when they return back to their humble abode, that it will be in all one piece. God, I speak that whatever they put their hands to, that it will be blessed. Everything they put their hands to, let it be increased, God. I pray that you bless them mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and mentally, God. God, you know what they stand in need of. Give them their heart's desire. I stand in agreement with them. I decree and declare that it is so. In Jesus' name, we all say, amen.
Amen. Amen.
So on the roster, we have our beloved Coach Katrina. We have our councilman, Mr. Todd Mullins. We have Miss Adrian. We have Miss Beverly. We have Miss Mo. And we have the phenomenal author, Elijah Lewis. And then after that, you will hear a timid word from myself. First on the roster, I'm introducing you to the beloved Coach Katrina.
Thank you, my brother, Reverend Dr. Kenneth Clark. Yes, that's my brother. So sure, same last name. Hi, everybody. Hi. Doing good. Thank you all for coming out here today. I'm going to introduce myself, but there's one thing that I want to read a Bible verse, and this is a verse that encompasses all of us because we are coming here today together because we got work to do outside the doors. Each one of you are affiliated with an organization, a group, a mission to spread love, to spread unity, to provide for those who are lacking, and to change our political atmosphere, our local political atmosphere. But I want us to embrace these words. This is coming from Hebrews 10, verses 23, 24, and 25. Let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep his promise. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. We're motivating each other to acts of love and good works. And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially especially now that the day of his return is drawing near. I just want us to meditate on those words. We're coming together. We're encouraging each other to do good works. It takes a lot of energy to do good works. It takes a lot of gumption to just keep on going and trying to do these good works. We all have had obstacles come our way in doing these good works. Can we all say amen to that? Yes. Some of us are enduring some of those obstacles at this very moment. But we have said we're coming together today. It may be a small crowd right now, but each one of us is connected to at least 100 people. That's the minimum. So if it's 10 and we're each connected to 100 people, that's over 10,000. Okay? So never neglect what it is that you're doing and if people aren't showing up. Because right now this is being aired globally and our mission collectively is coming together. So now that we had that set into the atmosphere, I am Katrina Clark. I go by Coach Katrina. I focus on mental and emotional well-being. In addition to that, I serve with Breath of Life Come Ashore Ministry doing various administrative work and things. I have been ordained as an elder too with another ministry that I was associated with. So I have all these different hats. I love wearing these different hats because it allows me to connect to various people. If I wear just one hat, for me personally, I would probably get kind of bored. So yes, I wear various hats. I do the administrative work and everything, but in my own personal endeavors, I am a certified life coach. I believe that mental and emotional well-being are the epitome of us being healthy people. We got snacks, we got all those things, but someone that has mental health issues, we see them all the time, especially if you're out in the community and stuff. You can give them any and everything, but if their mind isn't there, they don't have anything. One of my slogans is, without your mind, what do you have? You have nothing without your mind. You have nothing without your mind. But one of my things that I am endeavoring to do in the local arena, the local Prince George's County area, is to bring attention to, and you've got it on the clipboard, you probably can't see it right now as good, but to bring attention to those people who ride the metro and the treacherous conditions we had to go through trying to get onto the bus during this recent snowstorm. You told me the story of someone who was in a wheelchair trying to get on the bus when yes, it's a good deed to get out here and clear the streets, but to put somebody else in jeopardy because you want the streets clean is an insult to the residents of all of Maryland, but because I live in Prince George's County, it's an insult to all of us who live in Prince George's County. What was worse is that we just now started seeing stuff melt within the past 5-6 days or whatever. After a week, they piled up the snow, the ice and everything, it started melting. That weekend, they went out there and did street cleaning again, and had started melting near the bus stops. They piled the snow right on back up again, to the point that even the bus drivers were upset. So I have someone now that I'm talking to that works for Metro, and he was giving me his insight on everything. So what I am doing now is I am just starting the first initial process of getting people's names, emails, and phone numbers, because I want to have meetings to talk about what can be done. And y'all are good, y'all are here, that work for a local politician. What can be done to help us next year? Because this is going to happen. We have snow and ice at least once every year. This year was just crazy. It was just crazy. But what can be done next year to curtail us from those who ride public transportation for feeling left out of trying to just do their regular jobs, trying to get somewhere, I have pictures, I took various pictures, and I have a picture of a mother with 2 children standing on one sidewalk, a whole bunch of snow, walking across a 4-lane street into another bank of snow where the bus stop is. Well, how is she supposed to do that? 2 little kids, how is she supposed to do that? That's terrible. That is terrible. So my mission, my thing that I want to focus on today is starting the signature process of just phone numbers, emails, things like that, and then from there, same thing y'all doing, trying to get 10,000 signatures. I'm just starting the process of having meetings and getting information from citizens who were affected by this. here today. There's snacks, all that good stuff. Y'all know someone, call someone, tell them come on down. There's some good words, good information, good resources. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good
If
afternoon.
you do not know me, I'm Councilmember Mullins from the town of Morningside. I got re-elected last year for another 2 years, which makes it 13 and a half years sitting at the table. Back in 2022, I ran into an interesting lady and her husband, Miss Tanya Sweat. Got involved with her, and this woman wants to put the county back on the map, which desperately needs it. Our current county council and our current county executive haven't got a foggiest clue what to do. The debt is ungodly. It's in the billions. And with that being said, there's been a lot of more disturbances going on with this current county executive and this current county council. Spending $45,000 on College Park and an unnecessarily hotel complex, which they had other accommodations that they could have used, but failed to do that. So, which in other words, the taxpayers got to flip the money. Well, we've got a lot of people in this county that are severely under budget. They are on a small income. There's a lot of people that ain't got it, and it's just unbelievable. Just within the past 3 years, I have ran across residents of Morningside, one in particular. Her and her husband lived in the town for 43 years, raised 5 children in that town. Her husband was a Vietnam vet, passed away a year and a half ago. Prince George's County had the audacity to send her a $10,000 tax bill. She could not pay it. So the family from Arkansas came up, got the house gone, took what she needed in order to survive, and literally removed her from the house. She did not want to go. That's unforeseen. That doesn't make any sense. But with this county council and this county executive, they just don't get it. My thing is this: we're going to work extremely hard to put Miss Tanya in that office. And trust me when I tell you, people will be held accountable for their actions, because it's time the people get the main story and get it set straight. It's time. It's just time to change it, because the thing of it is, things are not changing as they are. Then our lovely governor decided to make marijuana legal. Every time I turn around, I see these youngsters out here riding around in their cars with their little kids in the back seat smoking dope. No, that's not happening. We cannot have it. I've been real close contact with Senator Nick Charles. Nick Charles did locate the money to have the Forceville Barracks refurbished. It's taken some time to get it done, but that money has been done. I told Nick that I want to get up with those associates up in Annapolis so we can get Maryland State some more help for their crash investigative unit. They only have 10 legitimate officers that do crash investigations. They're out of Cockeysville, Maryland. That's disgusting. So with that being said, we've got to find some way to do it. With that being said, we've got our 4th of July parade come up in this year. And basically, I've offered Nick Charles the invite to come down for that. Lieutenant Jackson, which is the guy who's in charge of Maryland State, will be there as well. I put the invite out there for Will. Dr. Kenny Clark has been invited to come out. I've reserved a Polaris SUV for us to ride in the parade for. Then we also have our Family Fun Day up in the park. We have a huge turnout for that. We got food trucks. We've got face painting. We've got pony rides. It's phenomenal. We had a huge turnout last year. So by all means, if your schedule allows it, come on over to Morningside to check out the 4th of July parade. It starts at Sickland Road in Woodland, probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock. We got a nice crowd for that. And our nice shoe off at the end of the day for the 4th of July. We do draw a nice crowd. And I'll suggest making arrangements to maybe park on some of the side streets, because basically Ames Street is literally closed off for fire, EMS, and police activity if we need to use it. With that being said, basically I tried extremely hard to work for the people, because we got a lot of people throughout Prince George's County that do not have enough. They literally don't have it. So with that being said, we've got to hold this county council accountable, and this county executive, I really don't think she knows what she's doing. She basically cannot sit there and throw the right verdict down. In Upper Marlboro, it's a continued joke. And with that being said, once we have this election and Tanya's in there, trust me, it's going to roll. It's going to roll. And the thing of it is, they need to be held accountable. Do I enjoy what I do for the town of Morningside? Yes, I do. Because I believe that there's a lot of people that need to be dealt with in a special professional manner. And with that being said, there should be some kind of leniency for those who've had retired military for tax purposes. They should be exonerated. No, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for whatsoever. But with that being said, and I'm also working really close with Nick Charles, and especially this with the lieutenant, to get our highway safety back. I will not stop until we get our highway safety back. These illegal sport bikes and these ATVs, they're going to disappear. Our speed limits are going to be knocked down. I've got some ideas to throw at Maryland State for technology to properly prosecute these people that are constantly on their cell phones. Because the legislatures up in Annapolis spent months for no handheld cell phone law. Well, guess what? I've got some technology and I've got some ideas that will literally blow your mind because other sister states are using it. Guess what? It works. It works. And the thing of it is, if you're on the cell phone, guess what? Sorry. It has nothing to do with race, creed, or gender. You're getting your ticket in the mail and you will be subject to a court appearance. Just that plain and simple. We've got to have our highway safety back. These highways are built for everybody. And then basically we're going to be working with the county as well, trying to get the county to acknowledge that as well. But we're trying to get Maryland State back on the board. Because when they had all the lawsuits and whatnot, basically everything was just like a domino effect. Everything just went downhill. We've got everybody out here doing what they want. We cannot have that. We cannot have that. So with that being said, I enjoy coming out doing it. I will continue doing what I'm doing. And basically working with Nick Charles to try to get this highway safety back. I'm supposed to be meeting with Lieutenant Mike Jackson Monday evening about 7 o'clock via telephone and trying to get something established for going up to Annapolis and pushing for highway safety because we have got to have it back. And these illegal sport bikes and these ATVs, Lord help them because they'll be prosecuted as well. Thank you very much for coming out. And if you guys are having your plans for 4th of July, come on up. If you need a card, I got one, and you'll thoroughly enjoy yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adrienne Grierson.
Hi.
I am managing Tanya's campaign, coordinating and managing Tanya's campaign, and my goal right now is to make sure that in November she's in office, that I get to attend the inauguration party. It's all about the party. What I do want to emphasize to everybody here, go back a little bit. I met Tanya probably in 2005, 2006. I'd worked with her about 20 years ago when she worked at the National Credit Union Administration. And her office was just around the corner from mine. So I saw her every day. What I really want to emphasize to everybody is that we need, in order to get Tanya on the ballot in November, we must have, I'm going to give you the minimum, we need to get to the Board of Election 7,000 validated signatures. We know that when we turn signatures into the Board of Elections, if we turn in 10 signatures, they're going to throw out 3, 4, for whatever reasons they may throw them out. So even though we need a minimum of 7,000 signatures, which is 1% of the registered voters in Prince George's County, we need to get many more than that because we want to make sure that even if the Board of Elections throws out 1 of every 2 signatures, we still get her in. If we don't get those signatures, she's not on the ballot, the game is over. Yes. We just pack up and go home. July 3rd, we don't have those signatures in, we just go home. So what we are targeting right now is to, last week I talked and I said we need about 1,000 signatures a week. If we could, we're targeting early May to have this done. We need 1,000 signatures a week. The weather hasn't cooperated with us, but we need to get out there, and you need to get out there in places where you know people are. Yesterday, we happened to go to the food distribution center at Rosecroft Raceway, and there were just cars lined up. And while people are lined up waiting, it's a great time to try to reach them. You know, I talked about going to metro stations, and I did talk to a couple friends of mine who says metro stations work. As long as people don't have to wait too long. So if you all know, first of all, in order to do this, you need to have a group of people. One person can't go out and go from car to car to car. You just don't. People want to talk. They want to find out what Tanya is about. If you take the time to talk to them and explain to them, and this is something Debbie told me early on, people want to talk. They want to voice what their issues are, and then they want to hear what Tanya's going to do for them. So you really do need 3, 4, 5 people working a crowd. If we can get out and we can work crowds like that. So find a friend. Find somebody to go with you. Work a crowd, and I believe that we can get these signatures that we need. We're going to do, I'm going to do a count. We'll send out a count probably tomorrow or Tuesday of how many signatures we have, and we'll adjust what we need for every week. But, just want to say to you all, get people out there, get signatures. I have forms in the back. I have flyers in the back for you. Get out there, get the signatures, because, again, without the signatures, we're done. So just a push to get everybody to help get signatures. Thank you very much for
Hello, everybody. Hello. How's everyone doing? This is going to be an easy conversation because I feel like I'm speaking to the choir. We all have worked with each other, know each other's issues, and our previous speakers have actually touched on a couple of things that I think is very important, and it's going to be related to what my main goal is for today. But first of all, let me say my name is Beverly John. My nonprofit is called The Talking Trump Incorporated and based out of Hyattsville, Maryland. I want to start out by saying I've known the Reverend Dr. Kenneth Clark for about, it's been about 10 years, I think. Yeah, we met, we were out working, he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing, and we were all focusing on the homelessness issue in Prince George's County. And if you know anything about that, you understand that Prince George's County is woefully lacking in services for homeless population. So again, 10 years of working with this man. We've done countless different projects, rallies, campaigns, and he's always been solid. As I've met most of you through him as well. So, kudos to all of us for, like you said, Katrina, getting us all together so that we can start cross-supporting each other, because that's what we need. We all have our individual little categories, but once we start cross-connecting and cross-supporting each other, we look way bigger than what we are, and we're more impactful and more impressive. With that being said, you had to be like hidden under a rock somewhere if you didn't understand about the last couple of weeks with the snow crews. The terrible, terrible response that our county gave in terms of trying to deal with that. You talked about it, snow just piled up willy-nilly, people walking in the streets unsafe. But that's just one of the things that's wrong, that has been a problem with this county, even before the snow creek. Unsafe, uninhabitable housing, the data center issues, which could be handled better, and we could actually win, I believe, if people knew how to be able to actually negotiate a contract in this county to be at the benefit for the community, which we all see. Most of the contracts and most of the agreements that our leaders have in place, it's not to benefit us, it's to benefit them as they're moving up and up and up in their political career aspirations. Just overall, ethics and transparency in the leadership. It's questionable. We're seeing people hiring family members with no job description. People aren't even coming into the office to work, but the man is making 6 figures. Like, this is, it's crazy. Ethics and transparency overall is a big problem. So we're calling for a general protest rally on March the 3rd at the Wayne Curry Plaza for folks like you all, and there are other people, the ICE people, the people who are against, expansion of ICE in operating in our county. We're holding this rally March the 3rd at 11 a.m. You will be able to speak. We're actually presenting a survey that most of us probably weren't able to do. The county council held they had 3 different listening tours where the council members were actually allowing us to come and speak for 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. I don't know how much about you, but I can't get a whole lot in 2 minutes what I really need to be heard and said about. So we're going to do our own survey, and we're going to ask people to submit that survey, and then we're going to present that to the council, because in their listening tour, they very proudly discussed how their priorities were affordable housing, the budget, but there was no real concrete information about what those priorities really were. So we want to show them what our priorities were specifically, because they weren't aligning. Like, their priorities were not aligning with other people that came up and talked to them about this. So again, March the 3rd, 11 a.m., Wayne Curry Plaza. Please come out and share your concerns to your leadership. Thank you.
Miss Debbie? You can speak from the chain. You can speak from the chain. She said 6:30 this morning.
Yes, I've been on it all. All right, my name is Debbie, and I have been on Tanya for now, I think 5 years. I met you, all of these lovely people, Adrian, because everybody believes that she's here to help the people. This is what we need in politics. I think that all the politicians should have took some classes from Murray Berry. Because Murray Berry, regardless of what he done, he took care of the people. And they still got those things in D.C. They got things for seniors. They had everything. Maryland, to me, is sad. It ain't even about the people, the color. It's about what they got in their heart. They had nothing in their heart for these survivors that paid their rent, paid their taxes, these seniors that paid the way. You got the children don't have anything. So Tanya is the key to Prince George's County. That's going to bring the life back to everybody here. But they feel that they're just as important as these people that we vote for. So, as her campaign manager says, we actually are doing really well. Every week we got finance sheets, so we got people calling and saying, we want to help, because everybody see. And they going through the pain, the embarrassment. Now, we're not the only county that didn't do their job. Okay, I found that out on Fredericksburg, but nevertheless, this county get enough money. They could have contract people out. And we always don't believe in the news broadcast, but they was going point this time. And they gave them months ahead. I don't know how they figured that out. That the snow is going to be bad. And what they do? Go boots. And we got a command center. They did not participate in a paid command center. That's everybody's money. That's everybody's taxpayers' money. I see seniors crying. I don't know what to get. Am I going to get my food? Or I'm going to get the medicine? Or I need help going to, I don't have a card to get a basket. So, I'm Team Tanya. I'm Team Tanya all the way. And
It's already on.
We family.
It's live.
It's already
It's all
there.
good, but I'm Team Tanya. Let's go, Tanya. It's her turn. Watch out, because here she comes. Yeah, she's here.
What next?
Okay, hi.
Do I get to sit down too?
Yeah. Yeah, the issue.
Yes, hi, my name is Monique Morrell. I'm glad to be here. I've met you at another event, and I've known you for a while now. In the midst of when you were going through, and I'm glad to see how God has moved you up a couple of notches to be effective. So I'm happy to see that. And my main passion right now, after just riding down this road, not just because of that, is the homeless population. Me and Beverly have been friends for I think it's 15 years, and we are in ministry together for the homeless. I have a big passion for the homeless people here in Prince George's County. And it is a travesty to see that there are a number of Prince George's tax-paying people that are suffering, and there is no facility for women, there's no facility for children, and there's no facility for men. I've served at a couple of places which is not really fit for a dog, for the homeless population, for the men. And I think with all the money that's coming into this county, that there should be a place to allocate funds for adequate shelter for our people. And so that's one of the reasons I came out again. And I've been introduced to Tanya, I think about 2 years ago, when we had elections. And I went to a couple of things just to see what was going on. But I do think we need a new breath of fresh air.
Absolutely.
Someone who is not in the clinches and someone who is not on the payroll.
That's right.
It has been brought.
And so,
And it can't be brought because we have so many issues in Prince George's County. We're the only county that is overdeveloped with all of these new homes and new apartments that nobody can afford. That doesn't even make sense. All the new development that Alsbrook just sold to all of the developers, instead of schools, libraries, fire departments, hospitals, we have Royal Farms, Chick-fil-A's, and stuff that you don't need. You don't need Wawa's, you don't need Sheets. You can't buy groceries there. We don't have grocery stores in some of these areas. Shoppers has closed a number of grocery stores in neighborhoods that people can walk out of their door and get to the grocery store. So there is a problem when you know that there are certain areas that need resources and you could constantly let them shut down. People can do only what they know. These people get notices at the 11th hour that something's going to happen. And they can't go to a meeting and fight for that. Because people will fight for things that they need for every day. But I'm just here to let you know that enough is enough in the county. And if there are people out there that are willing to do the work and fight for the county, I'm all behind them. I'm from the rural area, and you guys don't have the rural area covered. So I'll take that plight. Okay, to do Laurel. And we have homeless people in Laurel.
everywhere.
We have homeless people all over.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying, people don't think there are homeless people all over, but Laurel has a big population.
Yeah.
But Laurel has lots of resources that are utilized for the homeless. Okay, so I just want to let you know that thank you for inviting me out. It's good to know that people are still looking out for the little and the least. Here.
on something before you. When you mention all the things that they provided all the taxpayers back, that told, well, I know it told me, and it should have told a lot of people, this is all you're worth. It's a roll fried chicken,
Stuff that's back.
7-Eleven. This is all you are worth.
Vape shops, don't forget.
All that.
Vape shops everywhere.
Yeah, because
Smoking
they
shop.
And don't forget,
Sorry, I know it ain't my time to speak.
but add on,
It's
add
your
on.
time to speak. What else?
I'm the unorthodox pastor that's going to speak truth to power. We have a political system that hides behind the name of Jesus and gets over on the people.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Because that's the frightening thing that you don't know.
You come in the churches and you say, I'm a county executive for God. But you allow the men's shelter, you allow the developers to come in to say, shut the men's shelter down. But you say you're a woman of God. But the Bible I read said that, Lord, Lord, when did we deny you? He said, when you didn't clothe me, when you didn't feed me, when you didn't see me behind the sales. I'm just saying, it's time for a change.
Oh, the change is coming.
Oh, yeah. It's coming with a fury.
It's coming.
Yep.
Oh, they have no choice down there. This is it. See ya.
Our other speaker will be the phenomenal Mr. Elijah Lewis.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
I apologize, but this is what we do. You know, I told you when we ran, we in the trenches. You know,
Y'all ready for that?
No, well, first, you're good, Reverend. I appreciate that. All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. As Reverend Clark said, my name is Elijah Lewis. I'm an author and motivational speaker. I'm also a project engineer with NAVC down at the Naval Base in Indiana, Maryland as well. And I met Reverend Clark, ironically, about a month ago in this exact room. It was a DMV vendor showcase, and I was there with various vendors in the DMV. There was a lady who hosts those events by the name of Dr. Chichi Nawaje, and Dr. Chichi put together a panel with a topic called Men with Purpose. And it was me, Dr. Clark, and another minister on the panel as well, and we answered various questions about how men should live with purpose and how, basically how men are supposed to conduct themselves as men. And after that panel, it was a great panel, Dr. Clark and I connected through Instagram, and he told me about this event he's having today. So I reached out to him this week and said, yeah, you're still having that event this week. He said, yeah, so I definitely wanted to come and support. He had told me some of the things that he's worked on as far as the community. I was very impressed, and I'm impressed with what I'm hearing right now is that you all have a very interest in making the community better, and I totally respect that. And that is something I kind of align myself with too. In fact, that's kind of the reason why I even wrote Your Jewels in Your Journey, because I tell everybody we're all on a journey, and I don't want people to feel like they're lost and misplaced on their journey. And even what I'm hearing right now with, like how you said, like how they're putting, you know, things we don't need in the community, you know, how they're leaving people behind. They don't, the politicians that don't seem to care about the community like they should, or like how they promise. Because I tell people, not only are we all on a journey, but I tell people that the jewels on your journey are not only the life lessons you need, it's the people that you connect with that inspire you to be better. And when you have those two things, you ultimately learn that you yourself are a jewel. As I tell people, if you don't know who you are, it's hard to know where you're going. So when you have those things together, not only are you able to find yourself, but should be inspiring to help other people along the way. And what you all just told me right here, there are a lot of people out there that could use our help, because if the politicians don't do it, then somebody has to do it. You know, so I'm definitely impressed that you all have a keen interest in the community, and I appreciate Dr. Clark, what he's doing by getting us all together and networking and how we can inspire each other to be better and help the community at large. In fact, one of the things that I'm also doing with my book is that my godfather has a company called Salute to Duty, and you can find more information on that at his website, which is salutetoduty.com. But we have an initiative that we're doing that when you purchase a copy of my book, 22% of that goes to helping a veteran that's battling PTSD obtain a service dog. And the reason why we chose 22 is because sadly 22 is the amount of veterans that we lose to suicide. In fact, I just did an event last night with a fellow author at a Black History Month event for fellow veterans, and I always tell our veterans that they need to be appreciated more. It's kind of a shame that they go to war, they fight for the country, and then they don't get any respect or reciprocity back, and that is very sad. And it's sad that there's sometimes a lack of initiative to help them, whether they're homeless, like we talked about earlier, whether it's battling mental health. Our veterans don't deserve that. So we definitely want to reduce that number to zero as fast as we can. So definitely that's something that we are partnering to doing. And again, I just want to say, Reverend Clark, thank you so much for inviting me. Looking forward to connecting with you and networking and see how we can help each other. And just keep on doing the amazing work you guys are doing. I'm really impressed that you guys really have a great interest in the community. So definitely thank you for that. And looking forward to talking with you all during today's event. Thanks so much.
Tell people how they can reach your book, reach your materials.
Oh, okay. You can definitely connect with me on my website, which is ElijahLewis.org. Not only, like I said, I'm an author, I'm a motivational speaker, so if there's anybody in your community that you think could use motivational speaking, whether it's your church, community center, I'm more than open to doing that. Also, you can follow me on social media. We have Instagram, it's Melanie King Eli. Also, I have a Facebook page, which is Your Jewels and Your Journey. That's my business Facebook page as well. So, if you want to stay connected, I'd love to connect with you and see what we can do together. So, appreciate it, Reverend.
Y'all give it up for yourself. And please make sure before we leave that we all indulge in some of this helpful snacks, fruit, and water, and juice, and whatnot. Please make sure. I want to say before closing out, right, is this. In Baltimore, a group called We Are Us, right? It's a group that helps combat issues within our urban communities. Combat issues like poverty, homelessness, the lack of getting economic opportunities through urban communities. We do a lot of mentorship with young women and men. We actually have formulated our own Stop the Beat hotline. No law enforcement involved. Now, some people probably will look at that as a gap and say, why won't you get the law enforcement involved? When systems fail us, we have to take charge. The text says, the kingdom of God suffering violence, and the violence taken by force. It didn't say pray it by force. It didn't say get behind a denomination. It didn't say allow, or maybe if you're a Trump supporter, if you're a Biden supporter, Kamala Harris supporter, all these orders that we use that don't even make sense, because at the end of the day, when I get a cut, it's red. But we use these systems and these vices to create separation for not breathing life to mankind.
And if you look around in Prince George's County, the only thing I see is the haves being uplifted. I'm seeing the bought and paid for being lifted. I'm seeing people use my Father's name in vain. I'm seeing politicians make agreements with the devil. Yeah, because that's what they're doing. They're taking your tax dollars. I have a specialty. My heartbeat is the men, particularly young men between the ages of 16 to 38 years of age. I'm a case manager for Yay Me. That's the population that I serve. So I actually serve the population of my generation. And what I found out, no matter what lane of area of issue in the county, is there's something that's saying, I need life. I need a breath of fresh air to revive me so that I can be successful. And it shouldn't matter, as my great dear Councilmember Todd Mullins says all the time, it shouldn't be based on color, creed, gender, how much money you make, whether or not you're a Trump supporter. I want to put this on the record for a second, because I've had people bring this to me and say, you're supposed to be a man of God, and this, the Trump, administration, he mean that there's only male and female. So you should bow, you should clap hands, you should, because that's a man of God. Well, cutting the Meals on Wheels program, that's not holy. Ending financial aid so that we can become wiser as a serpent, because that's what the Bible says. See, I know we think being wiser as a serpent means only going to Sunday school. We think only being wiser as a serpent means only coming to church. But ladies and gentlemen, we're supposed to become wiser so that we can help reform and reshape our communities and change our society. And it shouldn't matter if the person is a Republican or a Democrat. The mere fact what should matter is that you're a human being and you're a child of God.
Right. Amen. Yes.
People get me with the labels. If we want to really go to there for a second, illegals. You see this? What they tell me, Todd? I said, oh, you see these illegals? You see what they're doing? They're doing things illegal. Well, you know what's illegal? When you have agencies like a social service who won't hold foster care parents accountable for when they get $3,500, $4,500 a month for a child, and they use that money, and these foster care parents are putting utility bills, phone bills, but we have the nerve to say, well, the aliens are illegal. They're doing illegal things. They're doing a criminal activity. They need to go ahead and but hold up. Let's take it further. The book of Leviticus says that we are to treat the foreigner as our neighbor. Oh, we're a country that's founded on Christian values. If that's the case, let me tell you what we really have. We have situational convenience. We only use the Bible to fit our narrative.
Yes.
When the Bible is the only narrative.
And the churches, I'll put it on the record, I know I'm hated by all of them. I don't really care. Because I'm here to serve. Jesus gave his life for mankind, not to be liked, but to serve. So no matter if you're on the right side or the left side, are you serving mankind?
Right.
Because once upon a time, the Democrats used to be the Republicans, and the Republicans used to be the Democrats.
Right.
So I'll leave you with this statement again. No matter what side you are you serving mankind?
Right.
In the words of my famous spiritual father, Joseph Jimerson, he would always say this: I just want to know. I just want to know, what side are you on? The side of serving or the side of selling your soul? Because if you go to bed at night and you say, well, I ain't got to worry about my brother, Mr. Lewis, that's his issues. That's what he got going on. My rent is paid. My kids are in school. My kids done graduated. My kids ain't got no student debt. We got food in our fridge. I got mentorship for my kids. I just want to know, what side are you on? The side of serving or the side of selling out your soul? That's my meditation. Please make sure on social media platforms, if you want to support Breath of Life, my chief of staff can tell you we've been all throughout this county, and we've been laying the groundwork with our resource fairs. And the very fact that we're in this room is because of our resource fair that we had in December 18th, where we utilized the public library auditorium, which, by the way, Breath of Life does not get a grant. We're not endorsed by no politician. So when y'all saw the video that went out, you was like, oh my goodness, he got 10,000 toys at that fair, and the kids was happy, and people were getting put into detox, and we were getting phone calls where a husband and wife had gotten back together because we got them counsel. We don't ask for members and we don't ask for disciples, because the truth be told, you don't have to preach a sermon a day in your life. Your life itself should preach.
Amen. Yes.
So there was something that transpired a week ago where I visited the monks. The monks came to town, Mr. Todd, for peace. Walk for peace. Came and walk for peace. They didn't come with nothing else. They didn't come with hostility. They didn't come with no gimmicks and anything else. They just came to walk for peace. But I ran into what I call a legalized Pharisee. The gentleman tells me, Miss Debbie, says, well, their walk for peace don't mean nothing if they don't declare that Jesus is Lord.
Oh boy.
And so I looked to them and I said, my question to you, what are you doing? Because if you get mad at the monks for having a walk for peace, and you who say you have the power of the Holy Spirit, seems like to me
you should be doing more than what the monks are doing. Perhaps maybe the monks came in to the city to be a reflection of what it is that you're not doing. Because you best believe it. I was there full front and center, and we was locking arms, Mr. Lewis, because we said it's not about no doctrine, theology, it's about the common good of making mankind better. So, as we are pushing for one county, one community, stay committed, consistent, faithful, dedicated, and look up and don't look down. I know I'm going to say something that's going to be a very unorthodox, and they'll probably email me, they'll probably call me, but I'm ready for it. A lot of us have the self-serving attitude where to obtain our value means that we have to bow. We have to see ourselves as low. If God sees me low, then I have to cry in order to get acknowledgement from God. No. Because he said, greater is he that is within. The kingdom is within. It's within. He said, look up. He didn't say look down. So my question I ask the Christians, why are we always bowing down if God said that we are great, if we are a royal priesthood? He said, up. Because the problem is, the sun is up. God sits on up. He said, sit on the right hand. If I'm constantly looking down, if I have money, how can I be able to hold my hand out if I'm looking down? I gotta look up. So let's stay focused and committed and recognize that we are great. I had to share that with y'all because I was just on my spirit. I was trying to figure out how to write. You know, seminary kind of, I call it cemetery because some of the stuff is just really dead. You know, they want you to have a subtitle, topic, and by the time you get caught up in all that, you forget the message you need to get.
Yes. Don't have the spirit connected.
I don't have time for that. People want to hear the real deal. This is why they don't want me in the church, because I'm not going to preach to them the same way that they preach. I'm going to preach as the Spirit leads. I'm not coming with a bunch of dogma. I'm not coming. You're human beings. We got to stop asking the question, what's it going to take for people to come to church if we just learn how to be the church? Ain't nobody come to the church because the only thing they coming into the church is to nothing. You telling people they going to hell because they going to see a therapist. You telling people they practicing witchcraft because they sage. But you didn't up there groping every boy there is in the congregation. And you got a bishop probe on. I know. That's why they don't want me in there. They don't want me in there. Because I'm talking about yes. I know. You don't want me in there because I'm speaking truth to power. And the time that we are in, that's what we got to do. Speak truth to power. And guess what? You don't worry about no attacks. Because God got it. I got 1,000 angels. He said, how many members you got in your church? I said, I got the mega church.
I know, that's right.
The mega church. I don't know what y'all are thousands. I got a gazillion angels all around me.
I know, that's right.
So let's stay focused. Let's make sure we connect with each other, exchange information, and stay committed and dedicated. We want to continue to do events like this
I do have some of the brochures up here. You can find out more about what Breath of Life is doing. We are going to have an informal church service next Sunday. It will be an actual formal. We're going to have an in-person service. So we want to actually have, we have one of our great beloved Bishop Greg coming from Pocomo, Maryland. It's about like 3-hour drive away, but he's coming out to bless us. We get the keyboard, we get the drum set. This is what we do. This is what Breath of Life does. You can ask anybody anywhere that we go, and they'll tell you Breath of Life owes us nothing. Because anywhere that we go, we either try to make it better than we did when we first arrived. Us being here in this room is strategically, you may not necessarily know, but y'all don't even recognize how you showing up has given people hope.
Yep.
Because people need to be able to see, when they see us, they see the prescription of relief. We become the walking billboards. I didn't even know when I was coming in here because I was caught up in some stuff myself, going through some things in my condo, living with mold, living with rats, living with infestation, living with fungus in my unit. This is why we gotta stand in the gap and fight. I don't come with nothing, no bluff. I'm not coming with a written script. I'm coming with the real deal, and I'm laying hot and heavy the way that it needs to be said. So y'all just stay committed and stay focused. And I appreciate you all. Appreciate you, Mr. Williams. We got work. This is just only the start. This is only the start from the beginning. I do have love offering. We're trying to at least have services here at least once a month. I don't care if you just put a penny in here. Every little bit helps. So we have some.
Tell me your cash out too.
We get the Cash App. We have this. Cash App is Breath of Life 19. We're going to try to make this location that we're in, this room right here, become stable, where we can have various stuff like this. So we'll give Mr. Lewis, we'll do some men workshops, some mentorship workshops. We'll have some, maybe Miss Adrian, Miss Beverly, we'll get together and have some women empowerment shops here, because we have a lot of constituents that actually reside here in this building that actually need help. They need mentorship. We have children here. We gotta listen. I'm not called to a building. I told them that in seminary. You want me to have a building? God give it to me, give it to me. But I'm called to the people, because Jesus never went. Show me a church where Jesus himself had a revival at. You ain't gonna find it. He was a shepherd to the people. That's why you ain't gonna find it. I asked him, said, name me the church. Name me the church that he pastored. It was a hush in Jerusalem. They thought I was speaking blasphemy.
But he flipped some tables at some temples.
Yeah, that's what and then not only that, the people he rebuked, they weren't sinners. The people he rebuked were spiritual leaders. They were never sinners. Even when he was put into the position to supposedly condemn, he didn't condemn. He said, be set free. Go sin no more. But the part of that, I was like, man, I wish I was there. Because I would have asked Mr. Boyce. I would have said, y'all trying to condemn her? Why was y'all there in the midst of her in the act? So why was you there?
And then the man that she was with. It takes two.
So like,
It takes
what are
two.
we really doing here?
Yeah.
And I bet you that's probably what he was writing in the sand, because it doesn't say what he wrote, but it say he was writing in the sand. And that's probably what he was writing. That's probably what he was writing. I give y'all a little imagination. He was probably writing in there. And he was probably like, yeah, let me show these things. Yeah, y'all can convict her. So yeah. Social media. My Instagram is Change Agent Now for Life. Facebook, Breath of Life Coming Ministry Inc. And my Facebook page is JC Jerome. And then if you want to follow the iCampus Breath of Life Come As You Are Ministry group, that is the group where we share all of the information for different events, or even if you have different ministry events. Next Sunday, just say this. Come on out, we got a special treat. We got some kids that's going to be here, and we got a special treat up in here, you know. So, it might look small now at this service, but believe it or not, I already know I'm getting the phone calls. They're going to be like, thank y'all for coming here. The reason why I've come here is because what y'all don't know is each of you carry the presence of God. And when I first came here, you never know. Like I said, you never got a sermon a day in your life. When I first came here, the manager already picked up who I was. And I never said a word. She said, "You a pastor?" She said, "I need some prayer. And I need some people that you can come and pray for." So God has us in around people, places, and things to be the bridge of hope. And that's what we're trying to do right now, be the bridge of hope in this county, in this region. And I'm repping District 8 because guess what? I live here in District 8. And this is where all the stuff happened. When the kids had to walk out, this is where they had to walk out. And yeah, I support the immigrants. And what?
But the important thing is that you got your credentials reestablished.
Yes,
I took it upon myself to provide him with the money for 3 years. So he could have his credentials because he's part of the press.
Yes.
So I did donate that to him. Dr. Kenny Clark got his credentials refurbished for another 3 years.
Very good.
That did happen.
Yes, and I'm recognized by the United States Press. I don't need Fox 5. Fox 5 is me.
You think they'll let you up in the White House? They'll let you up in there?
Trump may say, "Why don't you smile?"
Depending on how much you pay, right?
We gonna send some prophets in there.
There you go.
To speak to that wicked heart he got.
Yeah, no, bring it to naught. Take it out.
Because here's the thing. You know, people that would tell me about supporting Trump, and I was like, it's easy for you to call homosexuality out because it's something you can see. But you won't call out the bigotry and racism. So don't tell me that this is a person that's sent by God.
Right.
No.
It's not.
No.
They're not doing it. Should I play that? They ain't playing it. Not today. I was born at night.